In this video, I'm going to go through every screen protector that Whitestone Dome makes for the brand new Galaxy S25 Ultra. I'm going to go over the full installation of each one of these screen protectors. We're going to see how they fit, how they feel, how well they work with the in-display fingerprint sensor, as well as your S Pen. I'm also going to be doing a drop and a scratch test at the end of the video to see how durable these screen protectors are. And in the end, you'll know which one of these screen protectors are right for you. Over here we have Whitestone Dome's Premium Dome Glass, which does use liquid adhesive. Now you might be wondering why you would still want to use liquid adhesive when you have some other screen protectors that just lay down on the glass. And in my testing, I found out one big reason why you might still want to use that. And I'll let you know about that later on in the video. It also does have a blue light filter as well. Next, we have the Whitestone Dome UV Gen Film. So if you don't want to mess around with tempered glass and you still want to use a film screen protector, we have the option there too. We also have their privacy screen, which does have an anti-reflective coating, as well as a regular tempered glass screen protector that also has a blue light filter as well. And if you guys do end up wanting to pick any of these up, I will be putting product links in the video description. So let's get started. And here we have the Whitestone Dome UV Gen Film. So here we get two film screen protectors, a UV LED light, two installation packets, and a squeegee and an installation guide. Now the first thing you want to do is to plug in your UV light to make sure it works, and it uses USB Type-C, so you can use any power bank or a wall adapter for your phone to test it out. Just plug it in and push the button in one time and it should turn on. Next, I also want to give you a word of warning. Do not install this screen protector around any sunlight, because this cures by using UV light, which the sun puts out. So make sure that you're not around any sunlight when you're doing the installation. So first I would put down one of my pads to help with the installation. Just kind of put it down somewhere on your table. Then take your little installation guide, making sure that you use the USB Type-C portion, which it looks like a little C, and we're going to push that into the bottom of your phone with the little pegs facing upward. Just make sure that's pushed in nice and secure. Then we need to clean off our screen with the alcohol wipe, then dry it off, then remove any dust. Then we're going to open our screen protector package. We're going to take out the screen protector. Then make sure your screen protector is facing upright. We're going to make sure that the front sticker is facing up on the top, and the sticker, the back, is underneath. And we're going to peel off the underside protector. Then place the holes of the screen protector on the posts on the guide. And then hold the other end of the screen protector and line it up with the camera on your phone. Then press down in the middle on this line here, and then just use the squeegee to try to get out as many of these bubbles as you can. Then take your squeegee, put it behind the line, lift up on the guide and push back, and then just squeegee out the top portion of the screen protector, just like that. Then turn it around. We need to kind of lift up the screen protector off the posts. Then put your squeegee again behind the line, lift back on the screen protector, and then squeegee that out. And then try to remove any bubbles you might see. We did get a little piece of dust underneath our screen protector, but that's okay. Then you can remove the bottom guide and then peel off the front protector. So I do see a little line in the middle of the screen as well as a little bubble on the top, so I'm going to very gently try to remove those. And for the line in the middle, I would just gently kind of wipe out with the edge of your squeegee. Looks pretty good. So like I said, we did get a little piece of dust over here and kind of in the top here, but we're going to continue with the installation. Then you're going to take your UV light and we're going to cure the top, bottom, and middle of the screen for 60 seconds. So just take your UV light, put it at the top, and then double press the little button here, and it'll automatically count down 60 seconds. Then do the same thing for the middle again. Another 60 seconds. And then at the bottom. All right, so now that that's done, let's take a look at our protector. So installation wasn't horrible. It's pretty fragile. So if you do get like a piece of lint or something underneath your screen, if you try to lift this screen protector up, you are most likely going to damage or screw up some of the adhesive on the bottom. So once something's under there, you're really just gonna have to use the second screen protector that came in the box. That's why I just let the installation go. But installation looks pretty good. It does cover the whole screen. There's really not much of a gap on the side here. It's very light. Yeah, I mean, it almost looks, you can't even really tell that there's a screen protector on your screen. Now you can also see that the screen does not have any anti-reflective coatings on it, but the screen itself is super smooth. The edges aren't rounded off either. They're a little sharp at the bottom, maybe at the top, but not bad. It's not horrible. As far as fingerprints goes, it does seem to do a pretty good job at reducing fingerprints. We only have some slight smudges on the screen here. So we'll just wipe those off. And it just wipes away very easily. We do have a camera cutout for our camera. Let's take a look at our screen. Screen looks nice and clear. Touch, nice and smooth. No issues there. Working perfectly fine. Now let's take a look at our screen as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see that there is a slight rainbow effect on the screen. And if we twist and turn it, it gets a little worse. But looking at it dead on, it's not bad at all. It's just a slight patchiness of a yellowish color. Now let's test out our fingerprints. Fingerprints seem to be working just fine. Yeah. So fingerprints are good. If you do have any issues, I would just tell you to re-register after installing the screen protector and maybe turn up the sensitivity of the screen itself. And let's see if there's any edge bleed for the screen. And if we take a look, I don't really see any. Oh, maybe just a tad. It's probably the best non-screen bleed that I've seen on a screen protector. It's probably because it's so close to the screen. And on the other side, again, just a very slight bit. But that's probably the tightest I've ever seen for a screen protector. And let's put it inside of one of our cases to check out the case compatibility. And it looks like it comes right up, like you almost can't even tell if there's a screen protector on there. It comes right up to the edge of the case itself. But I don't see any lifting. I don't see any bubbles. So there's no place for any dust and dirt to collect other than the little portion of the cutout for your front camera. Now let's test out our S Pen. That line looks pretty straight to me. And as far as the S Pen goes, it's pretty smooth. There's only a slight bit of resistance. Not as bad as some of the other tempered glass screen protectors. And the S Pen seems to work perfectly fine with the screen protector. So you should have a pretty good experience using your S Pen with this screen protector. And we can also see that it doesn't make any marks on the screen either. Now, because this isn't a tempered glass screen protector, I'm not going to do a drop test, but I will test out the scratch resistance. So we're going to start off our test with a number 2, which is just simply plastic. And then we'll move on to a number 3, which is copper. And this is typically where film screen protectors fail, as you can see. So there are no scratches at the number 2, but as you can see, there are deep gouges at the number 3. So not a ton of scratch resistance for the film, but it will protect your screen from slight scratches like that. Then if you want to remove this screen protector, all you simply need to do is kind of get your fingernail underneath one of the edges here, and then just kind of peel it off. And you can see that it doesn't leave any residue on your screen. And here we just have the film screen protector. And then here we have Whitestone Dome's anti-reflective privacy glass. So we get one screen protector with an installation guide and an installation packet. So the first thing we need to do is to clean up our screen with the alcohol wipe, then dry it off. Then take your installation guide, making sure that where it says Galaxy S25 Ultra is going towards the camera on your phone. We're going to peel off the underside protector. Then place this whole thing over the top of your phone. Then press your finger across the middle and up the middle. Then hold on to the guide, and we're going to remove the sticker from the bottom here. All right, so that didn't work. So now let's just try to maybe lift it off your screen. Just like that. Okay, that works. And if we take a look at the screen here, we do have some bubbles, like one right there and one down at the bottom. I think this one here, I might have to end up lifting up the screen protector a little bit. And this one I might be able to press out with my finger. All right, so I was able to get those bubbles out by just using a squeegee. You can see the properties of the anti-glare are really strong. I mean, it dulls down my studio lights a lot. And here I'll put a side-by-side comparison of what the original S25 Ultra screen looks like versus the AR privacy screen that Whitestone Dome makes. It's pretty significant. We also do have a portion of the camera that does not have any of the privacy film, so you shouldn't have any issues with the facial recognition or your pictures, but we'll test that out. There is also a slight gap all the way around the screen for case compatibility. As far as the touch, super smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone. The edges are also rounded off. And for fingerprints, it does pick up some fingerprints on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen there, but you should be able to just easily wipe those away with minimal effort. I barely put any pressure on the screen to get those away, so that worked out well. Now let's take a look at our screen. We'll test out our facial recognition. Face ID working perfectly fine. And as you can see, the screen is crystal clear. Now, because this is a privacy screen, you will need to go into your brightness and turn that up. I turned it up all the way, so this is what it looks like all the way up. And that's with pretty much any privacy screen protector you're going to be using. You will need to use that. But you can see the screen is nice and clean. It's clear. Touch working perfectly fine. And if we turn the screen to the left and to the right, everything disappears on your screen. But will it work up and down? No. It only works side to side. That's pretty cool. So now let's look at our front camera. Front camera looks nice and clear as well. So no issues with selfies, again, or your face recognition. So now let's look at our screen as if we're looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And that looks super clear. But if you turn it, it kind of gets a little rainbow effect and then disappears. But if you're looking at it dead on, I don't see any rainbow effect. So now let's test out our fingerprints. Fingerprints seem to be working just fine. Yeah, no issues with your fingerprints. Now let's take a look at the screen to see if there's any bleed from the edges. This should be pretty easy to see because of the blackout. And you can see some of the edge there. If we can get this to focus in the white of the edge, I'm moving up and down. It's just ever so slight, but it is there. And if we take a look at the other side here, you can see it slightly on that side. It doesn't seem as bad on this side, but you can still see it just a little bit. So now let's put our phone inside of our case. And it looks like the screen protector comes right up to the edge of the case itself. You can see some of the smudges on the screen. Just try to wipe those away. So I don't see any lifting, I don't see any bubbles, and like I mentioned before, there's really no gap around the edges of the screen. The only thing you might run into with that is the tighter the tolerance of the screen protector up against your case, the less likely it is going to be case friendly, but this seems to work fine. It's just that all cases aren't made the same, so you will need to kind of test it out with the screen protector that you have yourself. But it looks really good so far. And let's test out our S Pen. Line looks pretty straight to me. And let's test out the experience. And there is just a slight bit of resistance with the S Pen. It glides nice and smooth across the screen and seems to work perfectly fine. So that anti-reflective coating does a really great job on the screen protector, and everything else seems to work perfectly fine. So now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to start off our test by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go, 2 feet. 2 feet. So this screen protector lasted up until a 2-foot drop. Now let's move on to the scratch test. Regular tempered glass starts to scratch around the Mohs hardness number 6, so we're going to start off our test with the number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6, and then a number 7. So if we take a look at our screen here, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are slight at a number 6 and deeper at a number 7. So scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector was really easy. It also might be case friendly because it is so tight up against the case. It lasted up until a 2-foot drop. Scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. It also seems to work well with the in-display fingerprint sensor and the S Pen. Then here we have Whitestone Dome's BLC Glass. This tempered glass has an anti-reflective coating as well as a blue light filter. So we get one tempered glass screen protector with an installation guide and some wipes. So the first thing we need to do is to clean off the screen with an alcohol wipe, then dry it off. Then take your installation guide with your screen protector in it, making sure that where it says Galaxy S25 Ultra is going towards the camera on your phone. And we're going to peel off this protector from the inside screen, just like that. Then place this whole thing over the top of your phone. Then we're going to slide our finger across the middle here and up from the bottom. We'll wait 30 seconds, then hold down on the guide, and we're going to peel up the sticker here. Seems to be on there pretty good, so this might be a problem. Yeah, so that just peeled right off. So we're just gonna have to like lift the guide up off the phone. And then we'll take a look. So it does look like we have a big bubble right here, one right here, and one at the bottom. So I'm gonna try to push this out with my finger, but I might have to lift up the glass very carefully to get rid of the one kind of in the middle there. All right, so I was able to push out that one big bubble in the side there with my finger, and as well in the bottom, I did use a little squeegee to kind of try to get the one out in the middle, and it seems to be perfect now. So I don't see any bubbles, no lifting. This is also a full coverage screen protector, so it does cover your front camera. There is also a slight gap all the way around the phone for case compatibility, but it's not much. As far as touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone. The edges are also rounded off. And if we take a look at our studio lights here, you can see how much it reduces the glare from those lights. I'll also put up a side-by-side comparison between the Galaxy S25 Ultra's original screen and the Whitestone Dome so you guys can see the difference. Now, as far as fingerprints goes, it does seem to pick up some smudges, but really not that bad. And I also do have some lotion on my hand because it's very dry here in Colorado. But you can see that it doesn't really show very much smudge. And we can just wipe those away with just a little bit of effort because, again, I do have some lotion on my hands. But as you can see, they wipe away very cleanly. So now let's see how well our face unlock works. Face unlock works very quickly, no issues there. You can see that the screen is nice and clear. Touch working beautifully, no issues there. Now let's take a look at our front camera. Front camera looks nice and clear. I don't see any issues there either. It looks nice and clean. And then let's take a look at the screen as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. See if there's any rainbow effect. And as you can see, there is a very significant rainbow effect. You can see that the screen's almost all yellow, and that's looking at the screen pretty much dead on. If we start to turn it, you can see that it changes colors. Now, if you're looking at the screen angled like this, it looks perfect. But if you're looking at it kind of dead on at your face, this is probably what you're going to be looking at. So that's probably due to the anti-reflective coating and the blue light filter. And then let's test out our fingerprints. Fingerprints seem to be working pretty good. Yeah, fingerprints are working. If you do have issues with the fingerprints, just re-register them after you install the screen protector, and also make sure that the touch sensitivity is turned up on your screen, and you shouldn't have any issues. Now let's take a look at the edges of the screen to see if there's any screen bleed. And you can see there is a slight bit. Again, it's not horrible, it's just a very slight little bit of bleed from the screen on that side, and this side seems to be a little bit of the same, maybe a little less, but it's still there. But to me, that's not a huge issue because, again, you're going to be looking at your screen like we are here. You're not going to be seeing the sides, and especially if you're using a case, then you really don't have to worry about that. So let's put it in our case, see how that fits. And if we take a look at the screen, it looks like there is a slight gap on the bottom and on the top of the case, but it comes pretty much right up to the edge of the case itself. I don't see any lifting, any bubbles. So it should be compatible with most cases, but not all cases are made the same, so you're just going to have to try out the one that you have, but it seems to fit this case, and this is the Spigen Rugged Armor case. Now you can see that there are more smudges on the screen, and that's from my palms. That's where the main portion of the lotion is. So it'll take a little bit more to get those out, but not too bad. And now let's test out our S Pen. And looks like a pretty straight line to me. Let's see how the S Pen feels. There is a little bit of resistance, but the S Pen seems to be working just fine, and it's pretty smooth on the screen. So again, just a little bit of resistance, not bad at all. I think it makes for a better writing experience anyway. So everything's looking pretty good for the screen protector so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. But before we do that, I kind of want to show you how the blue light filter works on the screen. So here I have a blue light filter reactive card. I'm going to shine the blue light against the card, and you'll see that it will react. It'll kind of turn like a dark purple, there, as you can see. Now, when I put this underneath the screen protector and I do the same thing, it should not be as drastic as what we just saw, or it might not even react at all if the blue light filter is really strong. So here we have my blue light card that has not reacted to blue light yet. We'll put the screen protector over the blue light filter and I'll shine the blue light on the screen. So you can see that the card does react, but not nearly as much as it did when I did not have the filter over it. So here's the other card. I'll shine the blue light again just to show you how fast it reacts. And you can see how much darker that was versus this one. So I'll do this one again, and you'll see that it does cut out that blue light. So you can see how much less blue light gets through when I put the screen over it versus with nothing. Then another way I can show you how much this screen protector actually filters out the blue light is actually just shine the blue light on the white box and then move the screen protector in front of that blue light. You can see how much it now cuts out that blue light. It's quite a bit. So we're going to start off our test by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go at 2 feet. Moving on to 3 feet. 4 feet. 5 feet. 5 feet. So this screen protector lasted up until a 5-foot drop, not too bad. Now let's move on to the scratch test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch around a Mohs hardness number 6, so we're going to start off our test with the number 5. And we'll move on to a number 6. And then finally a number 7. So if we take a closer look, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are slight at a number 6 and just a little bit deeper at the number 7. So scratch resistance for the screen protector is pretty standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector was really easy. It also does seem to be case friendly. The blue light filter seems to do a pretty good job at blocking out blue light. And it seems like the anti-reflective coating is pretty comparable to the one that's on the S25 Ultra's screen. It lasted up until a 5-foot drop. Scratch resistance seems to be pretty standard for tempered glass. It also seems to work well with the in-display fingerprint sensor and the S Pen. And then here we have Whitestone Dome's premium dome glass screen protector that does use liquid adhesive. Now I said before that there was a good reason why you would still want to use liquid adhesive for your phone screen, and that's if you have any maybe minor scratches, maybe a minor crack on your screen. From what I've seen in my testing, if you use the liquid adhesive screen protector on your phone, it will mask that little scratch or maybe that small crack. So you won't really see it and it'll look like there's nothing wrong with your screen. Last year I got my iPhone 15 Pro Max and almost immediately I got a scratch on my screen that I could not unsee. It was driving me crazy. And when I got to testing the premium dome glass with the liquid adhesive screen protector on the phone, it actually filled in and covered up that scratch so I no longer saw it. So if you want a quick and easy way to kind of protect your phone screen as well as kind of mask that scratch, I would definitely recommend the Whitestone Dome premium dome glass. So we get 3 vials of liquid adhesive, we get your UV light, we get an installation jig, we get an installation packet. This little rubber piece here will go over where your fingerprint sensor is to kind of put pressure on the screen, making the screen protector work better with the in-display fingerprint sensor. We get some instructions, we get some stickers, and we get 2 tempered glass screen protectors. So the very first thing we need to do is to make sure that our little LED light does work. So just connect it to a phone adapter or a power bank. It uses USB Type-C, and then just hit this little button on the side and it should light up. If it does, you're good to go. Next, we need to cover all the buttons and the cutouts on our phone with the black pieces of tape that come included with the kit. I would also remove my S Pen So your phone should look like this when you're done. You can see that the 5G antenna is covered, the bottom ports are covered, our buttons on the side are covered, and our mics on the top are covered as well. Then we need to take our jig. You're going to find this little plastic piece in there as well, and we need to insert that into the top here. Just make sure that this little portion here goes into the top part, and then it should clip into place, just like that. Then take this little black piece here. We just need to make sure that it freely moves in and out of this little slot. So that works well. Then we're going to take our little absorbing sponges. We're going to put that in the sides underneath these little holders. There's slots made specifically for these pieces. Put those on each side. So there are the two sides. And another one goes at the bottom as well. Then we need to thoroughly clean off our screen with our alcohol wipe, then dry it off. Then we need to make sure that our camera is going towards this portion of the jig, and we're going to just take this and press it over the top of our phone. It should clip into place. Lift it up from the back and just make sure again that it's clipped in place on the back as well, and that these little plastic portions are actually touching the screen. Then remove any dust you might see. Then we're going to take our speaker grill sticker, very carefully peel that off, and then place that over this little plastic piece on the top here. And then I would probably take your S Pen that you got out and just kind of run it along that sticker so it sticks down on your speaker. Do this very gently, and it should look just like that. Then take the little black piece, put it inside the slot here so it goes out over the top of your phone. Then take this little bridge, we're going to put it over into these little slots across your phone. Try to make sure that the table this is on is level, because when we put the liquid adhesive in the little hole here, it might move around if the table's not level, but you can also kind of manipulate it by lifting it up with both hands as well. Then you're going to take one of your vials of adhesive. We're going to unscrew the gray cap. Then place this whole thing into the hole in the middle here. Then hold the vial in place and release the black cap. The liquid adhesive should flow out on your screen. Once it's done, you can put the black cap back on and remove your vial. Then you can remove your bridge, and you can see where the bubble is. It's not moving, but again, you can kind of lift it up and move it with your hand. You want it to be kind of like right in the middle. Then take your screen protector, making sure that the camera cutout is going towards the camera on your phone, and this sticker is on the underside. We're going to peel off that underside sticker. Then place the screen protector down first on the bottom, and the other end should rest on the black tab here. Kind of make sure that's in place. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to press down on the bottom of the jig, and the bubble should move down the screen protector. And what we're looking for is the bubble to be right in between these two arrows in a complete circle. We don't want an oval. We really want to get as much of a round circle as possible. And once it reaches the center and it turns into the circle, we're going to pull out the black plastic piece on here and then wait for all the liquid adhesive to totally cover the screen. You can also kind of lift this up with two hands as well in case your table is not level, but as you can see, the bubble is touching the screen now. We're getting towards the center, and we'll release the black tab. And as you can see, all the liquid adhesive now is flowing out over the screen. So now we just need to wait until it totally covers the screen. Do not press on the screen at all. Just simply wait until every part of the screen has liquid adhesive on it. You can also get your little rubber piece ready because we're going to use this next. Now, once you see the liquid adhesive has reached every part and corner of your screen, we're going to take our little rubber pad here and we're going to put it over where your fingerprint is supposed to be and then wait 30 seconds. So now we'll wait 30 seconds, then remove the rubber pad. Then we're going to do our first curing for 15 seconds. We're going to start down at the bottom. All you do is press the button one time. It'll automatically count down. Then we'll move it to the middle. Do the same thing, press the button in once. And then move it to the top and do the same thing. Press the button in one time. Now we're going to remove our phone from the jig. I would press down on the bottom of the phone to try to get the phone out and not the top. So then take a look around on the sides and wipe off any liquid adhesive that may have leaked around your phone. Mine looks pretty good. I don't see where any liquid adhesive has leaked out, so I think we're pretty good. So we can just kind of peel off the stickers here. I do see just a little bit at the top here, so we'll take our alcohol wipe and just very carefully run it across the top. Looks pretty good. Look to see if there's any other areas that we need to kind of wipe up, but the installation looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit on the bottom here. So once your phone is cleaned up, then we're going to do our second curing. Again, we're going to take our UV LED, and this time we're going to cure for 60 seconds per section, and then we're going to do it all over again one more time. So all I need to do is start off at the bottom and double press on the button. And that'll start the countdown for 60 seconds. Then the middle for 60 seconds. And then 60 seconds at the top. And then we'll go back and do it one more time. From the bottom, 60 seconds. All right, and then once that's done, we can take a look at our phone. So installation, everything considered, was fairly straightforward and easy. The screen does have a pretty good gap all the way around the edge of the phone for case compatibility. You can also see that the screen does not have any anti-reflective properties. We do have a cutout for our front camera, so we don't have to worry about our selfies or our facial recognition. The edges are also rounded off. As far as the touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone. Now, as far as fingerprints, it does seem to do a okay job at fingerprint rejection. You can see that we do have some slight smudges on the screen there, but we can just very easily wipe those away with minimal effort. Nice and clean. Now let's take a look at the screen. So you can see that the screen is also crystal clear. Touch working perfectly fine, no issues there. I also don't see any bubbles or any lifting, no dust. Seems like a perfect installation. Now let's take a look at the screen as if we're looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see that if you look at it dead on, there's no rainbow effect. And if we twist and turn it, there is a little bit of a rainbow. I mean, you're really not going to be looking at your phone from this angle, but it does seem to do a pretty good job at keeping that rainbow down for the most part. Now let's test out our fingerprint, the most important thing. It seems to be working pretty quick. Yeah, very nice. So fingerprint seems to be working without any issues. Yeah, very nice. And if you are having issues with your fingerprints, just re-register them after you install the screen protector, and I would also recommend turning up the touch sensitivity for your display as well. Now let's see if there's any edge bleed, because this does use liquid adhesive, so there might not be any bleed on the side. There is a slight bit as well here too. You can see kind of at the top where the white goes all the way up to the top and then the black. So there is just a very little bit of edge bleed on the sides, and the same thing for here too. Just a little bit. And let's put it into our case. So here it is in our case. It does look like there's a slight gap at the bottom, as well as the top of the phone. And on the sides, it pretty much comes right up to the edge, but I don't see any lifting. I don't see any bubbles. Everything looks really good. So it should be compatible with most cases. And let's test out our S Pen. It seems to be pretty straight. Then as far as the S Pen on the screen, seems to work really well. There is a slight bit of resistance, not a lot at all, just a little bit. And the S Pen seems to be working really well with the screen. So I think you would have a good experience if you do use your S Pen with the screen protector. And another thing I discovered about this screen is if you shine some UV light at it, you can kind of see, I don't know if it's the liquid adhesive or something in the middle of the screen, but it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty neat. I don't know if that's on the screen protector itself or the phone, but it's just something I found out. So everything's looking pretty good for the screen protector so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch at a Mohs hardness number 6. So we're going to start off our test with the number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then finally a number 7. So if we take a closer look at our screen, you can see that there are no scratches at the number 5. There are light at a number 6 and deeper at a number 7. So scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. And now let me demonstrate how to take off the screen protector and what your screen looks like once you take it off. So you can start off by using either your fingernail or something like a plastic pick here. Do not use anything metal because you don't want to scratch the screen on your phone. So all you need to do is simply get your fingernail down into one of the corners, and then you can see that the screen is starting to lift here. And what you kind of want to do is you want to make your way all the way around the screen protector. Don't try to lift it up all from this one corner because the screen protector might crack. So just kind of work your way around the screen protector. I'll lift this up a little bit to get this under here. Just like that. So then just kind of, you can use a credit card too, that works as well. You can see that it is releasing from the phone as I move down the screen protector. And we'll just work our way all the way around. You don't have to move quickly either because again, you might crack the screen. So just take your time working your way all the way around. And once you do that, you can kind of get into the middle of the screen protector and then try to start lifting it up a little bit more slowly. And there we go. And as you can see on the screen, there's really no residue. We might have a little bit of like marking on the screen here, but all you need to do is simply take an alcohol wipe or something and wipe that away. And then here's the screen. You can see that the adhesive is all the way around the screen protector. So I'll just get my wipe and I'll kind of wipe down the edges here. And you can see now that it is crystal clear and clean and there's no residue anywhere. Then for everybody who ever wanted me to do a drop test for the premium dome glass, here you go. All right, so for the first time ever, a drop test for the WHITESTONE Dome Premium Dome Glass, we're going to start off by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go at 2 feet. Moving on to 3 feet. 4 feet. 'Nothing yet. 5 feet. 5 feet. So installation for the screen protector was pretty straightforward. It was definitely more complicated than most. But again, for what it offers you as far as filling in small cracks or scratches, it's definitely invaluable. And once you follow the instructions, it's really not that hard. It also does seem to be case friendly. It lasted up until a 5-foot drop. It also seems to work well with the in-display fingerprint sensor and the S Pen. And scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. So it seems like Whitestone has a screen protector for pretty much everybody's needs. My personal favorites for the screen protector definitely has to be the blue light filter screen protector. It seems to do really well in the drop test. It also has anti-reflective properties. And I also do like the premium dome glass, even though the installation is a little bit hard. But I know if I can install it, you guys can definitely install it as well. But I'm really curious to know what you guys care about most when you're looking for a screen protector for your S25 Ultra. Is it scratch resistance, drop protection, blue light filtration, anti-reflective coatings? Let me know in the comments below. And again, if you guys want to pick up any of these screen protectors, I will also be putting links in this video's description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.